Another 960er. Whoa, that was a quick move right here out of the gates. Whenever I see two bishops on the GH files or AB files, I think they don't need to move in order to be developed. It's just the pawns that need to move in front of them, and they're good where they're at. I think this is actually a good start, and I'm probably going to mimic it. Yeah. I don't know that there's a better spot. Now, one thing I won't be doing is playing my knight here, because this guy is going to be very upset with me, and so too is this guy. Look at the domino effect. This pawn can't move, then that bishop can't move. Let's not do that to my pieces. So, in other words, if my knight's not going to play here, where should it play? Here? No, I don't obstruct this pawn. Here? Maybe. Or maybe here first, and then knight here. A lot of ideas, and I don't have the answers to all of them. Oh, man. What do you do? What does this guy do? How awkward. What about this knight? Well, here, this bishop's not too happy. Oh, it's tough to come up with a plan in these 960 games. Of course, I could just move quick and play recklessly, but I'm trying to come up with a pretty decent plan. One that I would maybe try and do in a game where I had hours to be thinking about stuff. I'm trying to find something decent here. E6, and then get my bishop out in this direction. I'm going to try that. Support my center point. Alright. And, well, let's get my knight out of the corner. He's stupid there. I guess the ladies are off. They're coming off here. Okay, that's interesting. I can't castle kingside now, can I? Okay, my light square bishop would one day like to play. I could castle. Let me do that. My rooks are in good spots, and I could support this pawn with this move. My knight could play here. I think I want to go, I don't know, pawn push just a single square, and then a single square, and then get my bishop out in this direction, but the door is slammed on it with F4. I think I know how to get my knights working, but it's my bishops I'm having trouble with right now. What do they do? Pawn push. Oh, I can't go two squares. Let me just go one. Let's see. Bishop to E6. And pawn to G6. And now what? I don't know what else here. Okay, now the knight. I'd really like to not have to push here, because then one of the knights could eventually sit here. I would like to have the light square bishops exchange and sink a knight on that E4 square. How can I make that happen? It just can't be easy. Actually, I have an idea. It involves a knight C4 move followed by bishop here. Even though my pawns are doubled, maybe I could be making use of this square. And I need to move this pawn, like, real soon. Like, maybe I should have done that first. Yeah. I should have done this move. It's more to the point, I think. Well, that knight is pinned. Oh, there's just going to be castle next. I better get going. My dark square bishop wants to play one day. Let's go, dark square bishop. And this knight is going to be pretty annoying, I think. If knight here, I don't want to push because I'm chasing it away to a square it wants to go to. So I'm being very cautious of these e4 and e5 squares. Now that, I can throw that knight in a pin. Man, tight game here. I'm definitely not taking that pawn. No way. That knight is going to be beautiful on f5. Ani is a very good chess 960 player. I think that's all we play. And these are always really good games. Very cool. Man. All right, let's take here. The pawn captured away from the center, so it's hitting my knight. What is it no longer doing? It's not watching over this square, so maybe I could get here with my knight. I'm also threatening knight takes pawn. I do best to just let these guys sit. I really don't want to push, because my bishop is, well, I guess maybe could come out in this direction. What else? Bishop f7. Whoa! What is happening? My opponent is lashing out. Is there a good reason for this? If there is, I'm not seeing it. I could take the rook or take the knight first. Is the move order going to matter? My opponent might fall for something sneaky. Back rank issues with the bishop check. If the rook ends up leaving the back rank, I think we might be seeing this right now. Tricky stuff to come if rook takes pawn. Don't you do it. Don't do it. It's leading to mate. Or the loss of material, the loss of material. Check. Rook block, bishop deflection. Whenever you have your opponent in a position where their pieces are tied down to the defense of other pieces, look for the tactic of deflection, and that is what this is looking to do right now. Deflect the king away from the defense of the rook. There's no good solution. There's a bishop block, but that's actually leading to mate still. Okay, but before that point came about, what a good game. As usual, let's back up here and see about things. I like that move in the center. I don't like this move, though. Why not? You have two pawns in the center, I have one, just focusing on the four squares. Your pawn has more possibilities than my own pawn. Maybe you could push forward, maybe you could capture. Retain that option, retain the tension in the center. That's one suggestion. And I think, actually, my main suggestion. Yeah, let me just point out one thing, and that is retain that tension. What can you do instead of that pawn push? How about this? f4. That's better. Or maybe consider push, push, gaining space. I like this, though, to be honest. If there's a move to go with, I'd like the f4 move. Retain this tension. Because then you keep me guessing. You gonna push? You gonna close it up? You gonna gain some space? You gonna be cramping to my queen side? Or this section of the board? Or are you gonna capture later? Keep me guessing. The longer you keep me guessing, the more awkward it becomes for me to deploy the rest of my pieces. Okay. Let's close out of that. Retain the tension is my main thing to pull away from that one.